I've decided to do something slightly different to what I would normally do when I record a training of some script. So, you probably agree with me that the marketplace is saturated with um, polished content, scripted content, which doesn't really show you the truth in what's happening in order to grow a business. So, I thought I'd do things slightly different. This is beneficial for me. This is also going to be beneficial for my clients, but I believe it will be beneficial for you as well. So let me explain. As we are developing and growing a business, client acquisition business, then there's a lot of variables that is in place in order for the system, the strategy, the tactics, the methodologies to work, right? Now, all these different variables, they all need to be functioning and performing at the level in order for them all to be functionable and for them to work. But because there's all these different variables, then there's chances that a lot of these different variables, like there's going to be a lot of problems, there's going to be a lot of challenges, there's going to be a lot of firefighting inside of all these variables in order to get them to the level that they need to be, in order for them to work, in order for the whole strategy to work. So what I decided to do, instead of creating, shall we say, like scripted trainings, is just to document what we're doing, what I'm doing for myself and for my clients in order to make these variables all performing at a high level across the board. So from development through to marketing, through to business, through to sales, client acquisition, through to strategy, through to deliverables, and operations, and everything and anything that needs to be up leveled in order for everything to work. So that's what I've decided to do. It's going to be raw, it's going to be simple, it's going to be unscripted. I'm just basically taking you behind the scenes of what we're doing in order to solve problems. And if you're struggling with this specific problem, then chances are what I share with you, potentially, it could help you solve that problem as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into this first showcase, which I've called Guarantee Taking Your Offer to the Bank. So let's jump into my screen and I'll see you in a second. I've titled this Guarantee Taking Your Offer to the Bank. So what exactly do I mean by that? Well, over the last 13, 14 years, working with an extent amount of coaches and consultants and mentors to be able to package their offer, what they do, into an offer that they can sell between 10, 15, 25K, is most people, when they come to me, the reason why they've failed, or one of the reasons why they failed to sell that, is because they've not really tapped into the level of zone of genius that is that. They've just taken something that they think that they're good at, and then they've run with that, and that's not really the zone of genius. But then they've not matched that with the right marketplace to make their zone of genius a match to the marketplace, but then also to make sure that they're going into the right marketplace that's going to make their business profitable. Does that make sense? And so what that means for the client is that they spent a lot of time, energy, and finances in some circumstances in order to get everything up to a level to go out there to the marketplace, but yet then they've just landed on the face because nobody's bought their offer. And it's not that they're not good enough. It's not that the marketplace is not buying. It's just that there isn't synergy between them, the marketplace, and making sure that the marketplace is profitable. I know a lot of people that build an offer and then they go into the marketplace and the marketplace is just not buyers. It's just not full of buyers. And it's hard, right? So to guarantee taking your offer to the bank, there's these three things that you need to do. And this is it's one of those variables, again, that needs to be in alignment just to make sure that everything works. It's about doing due diligence, deep dive work, the foundational stuff, in order to be able to make everything work. But most people brush this off as though it's like, I'll come back and I'll do that later. And they're just always firefighting, jumping backwards and forwards, like taking 2 steps back and then 3 steps back and then 2 steps back and then 5 steps back. So what we do to to build offers and to make sure we go into the right marketplace is not only do we use my brain, like of 12, 13 years in the marketplace, building offers, marketing, sales, business development, transformations and everything, operations and systems and processes. So we use my brain plus the client's brain because there's those two brains are needed, right? But then we tap into the open source of AI's brain as well. So it's like my brain plus the client's brain powered by the brain of AI. And it just totally takes things to a whole new level. And it needs to be that way today. And the reason being is that the marketplace is so developed today than ever before. Like your next level client, if you're looking to sell a $15,000 offer, $25,000 offer, $50,000 offer, right? Those people that's going to invest at that level, they are sophisticated people, right? To say the least. In fact, that's an understatement. But these people, they've been around the marketplace a lot. They know what they want, they know what they don't want. They know what they like, they know what they don't like, and they know exactly what they're looking for. So in order to play above, beyond par, is no longer good enough. You've got to be above that level in order to be able to attract people at that level. Does that make sense? So that's why, and that's where AI comes in, because it is just like putting everything that I know and my clients know is like just injecting steroids into everything that we do. And people think, well, if I create an offer using AI, then it's AI's offer and it's not really going to be in alignment with what you do, the depth that you do, how you do it, and stuff like that. And that couldn't be any further, actually, from the truth. Because if I bring what I know to be true about building offers, marketing, sales, business development, and everything else, if I bring that to the table and I know the right questions to ask, and then I can ask those questions and extract those questions from clients, and then inject those questions and turn those questions into prompts with my clients' information that I've extracted from them and inject that into AI. That's how you can build an irresistible jaw-dropping 15K, 30K, 50K offer that is powered by AI, but it's in alignment with your zone of genius, with your brilliance and the things that you do and everything that you stand for, you believe in, your values, your morals, your talents, your skill sets, and everything. So it really does create that strong connection, that strong alliance with yourself. So I'm going to be jumping into AI in a second. So what we're going to talk about is really tapping into your zone of genius. When we talk about, most times when I speak to a lot of coaches about their zone of genius, they like clog up, can't really express their zone of genius on different levels, from different angles. They've just got like the blindsided, they just see their zone of genius from one side. And that's no longer good enough today. We need to be able to see that from like multidimensional, right? And then we need to make sure that we are tapping in to the right marketplace that's going to be connected to your zone of genius, to your brilliance. So we need to be talking about that. And then also making sure that we're picking out a profitable marketplace that you can go into, that you can create longevity inside your business. Because I'm sure you're not wanting a business that is here today, gone tomorrow, right? You're wanting a business that's going to be with you for quite a few years, right? So a business that you can build up, a business that you know that industry, there's growth within inside that industry, where you can see the level of spend within inside that industry. Because if you go into that marketplace knowing that this marketplace is full of buyers, then it's going to be super easy for you to be able to then go into that marketplace and start selling. Does that make sense? So first and foremost, what we do, like tapping into your zone of genius, if I come into this folder here, we've got 4 documents there. We've got 4 documents there. There's 33 extraction questions. So I would provide these extraction questions to my clients. They would complete these questions, give me in-depth answers to these questions. And then from those answers, I can inject all those answers into ChatGPT. So even before we start trying to extract any information at all from ChatGPT, ChatGPT knows everything that he needs to know or she needs to know around my client, the client's talents, skills, processes, methodologies, thinking, values, mission, purpose, client testimonials, some posts, some content, an offer. Like, there's 33 in-depth questions that potentially might take a client a good hour and a half, 2 hours to complete. But then once again, it's the foundational stuff, right? Once we've got that information, we can feed that then into ChatGPT to then build out then with all the prompts and the answers to the prompts is all going to be in alignment with the client. So if you feel right now like your offer, there's a disconnect between you and your offer, and especially if you've tried building out with ChatGPT, if there's a disconnect, that's because you've not injected you into the first prompt in ChatGPT. If ChatGPT doesn't know you, then it can't build a business for you and around you and an offer for you and around you, right? So obviously I'm not going to go into that document because it just wouldn't be fair, right, for clients. But I just want to show you and illustrate the depths and the levels that we go to in order to make this totally work. So then from there, if I just jump into ChatGPT now, right, and you can see, right, if I just add that for a second. Okay. So let me read this to you, and I'm going to read all of this, right? So based on the deeply rich, authentic, and powerful data you've shared, is a structured breakdown of your zone of genius, and now you can now begin to elevate your brand positioning and pricing to reflect the transformational power of your work. So A, your effortless zone of genius, helping high functional but emotional burdened individuals rapidly let go of their past, reset their self-worth, and reclaim peace, clarity, and personal power so they can live a life they are proud of. So that really does encompass my client and in what they do. We're going to be drilling down into that a little bit deeper as we get through some of the answers that ChatGPT provides us. But now we're looking at 8 reasons why ChatGPT believes that this is our zone of genius. So you collapse timeframes. Your method delivers emotional liberation and mindset shifts in 12 weeks or less, what therapy might take years to achieve. Your client's transformation across all life domains, from quitting addiction to rebuilding careers, clients experience holistically life-altering change. Your life experience gives you rare depth. You overcome real darkness, addiction, loss, reinvention, and radiate your clients' relationships with truth and empathy. You mix the woo with the practical. Your approach blends powerful subconscious techniques with accountability, motivation, and action, bridging healing and real-world results. You have a signature process. The rapid change method is proprietary, replicable, sorry, my mind went blank, and already proven with high-level testimonials. Your emotional intelligence is a superpower. You meet clients where they are with care, honesty, and deep human understanding. So you can see the depths that we get in here, and it's allowing our clients to see their work and who they are and how they do things from different dimensions. Number C, the biggest problem you solve with your genius. Chronic emotional stuckness that hasn't shifted through traditional therapy. Lingering regret, shame, and self-loathing tied to past events. Midlife identity crisis. I've done everything right, but I still feel empty. Hidden self-sabotage and self-worth issues sabotaging success in life and business. Inner turmoil caused by addiction, burnout, and toxic relationships. Fear of being visible, confident, and unapologetically happy. Disconnection from joy, peace, and purpose. Cycle of people-pleasing, overthinking, and fear of judgment. So now we understand the problems that we're solving in the marketplace with our genius. The biggest transformation that you can solve. Helping accomplish emotional stuck individuals release decades of internal weight in less than 12 weeks. So they rediscover peace, reclaim power, and create life they no longer need to be escaping from. So what we've got so far is a lot of different dimensional information about my client, about Zone of Genius, and the 8 reasons why ChatGPT really thinks that this is his zone of genius. The problem is solving in the marketplace, the transformation is creating in the marketplace. And now we're going to look at benefit-driven statements around his zone of genius. One thing that we've not done right now at this level is that we're really not tapped into a persona, right, of a client. Normally, up to this point, we would have done, but because my client's coming to me as a life coach, we will be breaking away from that. But in normal circumstances, that would have already been done because my client would have already had an idea of the marketplace that he already works with, or the client that they've already served before. But because this specific client has been a life coach, they've worked with many different clients across the board spectrum. So we will be drilling down into a deeper persona in a second. But these are the eight benefit-driven statements around their zone of genius. Reset decades of emotional baggage in 12 weeks so you can live from peace instead of pain. Finally let go of the past without endless therapy or years of processing, because this is what their clients typically do. Step into quiet, confident leadership in your life, relationships, and career starting now. Rebuild your powerful sense of self-worth so strong. Nothing from your past can shake it again. So now we've got benefit-driven statements based around my client's zone of genius. Again, all different dimensions, right? Coming from different dimensions. So ChatGPT right now is actually asking me if I want to now go out there and create a 25K buyer archetype. And I do want that. But right now, I'm actually not going to jump into that right now. Right now, I'm now going to give me 3 high-end, emotional aligned, commercially scalable niches that are perfectly suited to or for his zone of genius, right? So now we're going to be drilling down deeper into understanding the demographic group or the marketplace that potentially this specific client could tap into, if that makes sense, right? So again, we're not just taking our own knowledge and information of what we believe to be true about market and marketplaces. We're pulling and extracting information from open source, right? So from using ChatGPT. So let's have a look at these. So it's now going to give us 3 marketplaces that potentially a client could go into one of these 3. And if we were to pick any one of these 3, there would be an alignment with his zone of genius and everything that we first put into ChatGPT. So number 1 is high achieving professionals in midlife transition, corporate or business owners between age 38 and 55. So market demand. This group is experiencing identity loss, burnout, emotional exhaustion, and a disconnect between career success and personal fulfillment. They are slightly struggling behind high functional masks and are actively seeking fast, profound emotional support that goes beyond therapy. Saturation level, medium. While life coaching exists in this space, most solutions are generic, mindset-based, or overly therapeutic. There's low competition for rapid, identity-level, emotionally intelligent methods like yours. You'll stand out by solving deep-rooted issues quickly without the traditional fluff or slow therapy route. Scalability potential, very high. These buyers refer easily, are often connected to high-value peer networks, and typically have the funds and emotional readiness to invest. You can build group intensive private retreats and even corporate leadership programs from this niche alone. So just if my client wants to go into that marketplace, right, it's in alignment with what he does, it can generate results in this marketplace. This marketplace, there's a demand in this marketplace. Saturation level, there's plenty of life coaching in this marketplace, but there's nobody at the level operating and functioning at the level that my client does. And it's a marketplace that's scalable, right? So marketplace number 2, emotionally intelligent entrepreneurs and creatives. consciousness, coaches, healers, and artists, market demands, saturation level, scalability potential, right? So again, it's giving us information based on that marketplace, giving us data to see if this is the marketplace that my client potentially wants to go into. So I'm not going to go through and read all this, right? But you can see that the depths of level that we operate at in order to make sure that everything external of building a business is going to work, right? So we're taking our offer to the bank, if that makes sense. And then number 3, recovery, reinvention market. So this is for sober high achievers, addicts in recovery, post-divorce professionals. So again, market demand, saturation level, and scalability potential. And me and my client sat and we looked at these 3 marketplaces as potential marketplaces to operate in. And from our own understanding of these marketplaces, we understand that this number 1, going after the high achieving professionals in midlife transitions, these are people that are already in leadership position. These are people that's not offering from a place or operating from a place of scarcity or needing it or in a dark place. So this marketplace, we decided that this marketplace is the perfect fit for his zone of genius. So then from there, once we understand what that looks like, BT just gave me a summary table of each of those niches, the demand in each niche, the saturation level in each niche, and the scalability in each niche as well. And even just looking at that from a 30,000 foot viewpoint, like we've picked the right one. Number 1 being very high, medium saturation, and very high scalability. So again, ChatGPT is now asking if, okay, so can we push forward and start creating this offer? What we're doing now is I'm asking ChatGPT, okay, so give me a snapshot, give me an overview from a 30,000 foot viewpoint, which is the most profitable niche out of all of these 3? So we can see here midlife high achievers in transitions. So we can see the market size, the annual industry revenue, the average order value for high-end services, lifetime client value potential, annual growth, common tools that they might use. And you can see, right, that people in this marketplace are already spending between $5,000 and $15,000 for premium coaching packages. And then we've got the niche number 2, done the same analytical, I'll give them the same data. And you can see here, it's like look at the average order value on iron services, it's less than the previous one. And then number 3, again, is less than the previous one. Not many people are selling or buying at the level that my client wants to sell at. So for him to go out there and sell his offer at $15,000, knowing that typically, like the marketplace is only spending between 2,500 and 7,500, it's going to be an hard slog for him, right? So there's no match. There's no match. So it wouldn't make logical sense for him to go into this marketplace. And that's what we did. And that's the level that you need to be playing at in order to make sure that you can guarantee that when you go out there to the marketplace, that your offer and everything that you do is being built around your zone of genius, your brilliance, your natural talents, and it's in alignment with who you are as a person, your credentials, your client testimonials, your value, your mission, your passion, your purpose, and everything that you are as a character and your personality. So all that is fed into ChatGPT, and then with that, it can then pick out 3 marketplaces that potentially you could tap into with your zone of genius where you can make the biggest impact. And then identify, well, which of these marketplaces is going to be the most profitable marketplace for you. So you can see, again, the foundations that we go in order to make this work is why when clients take the marketplace, their offer to the marketplace, why it works. Because everything is in alignment. So again, just a little bit behind the scenes of the depths that we go to in order to make sure that when we go to the marketplace, it all works. Because everything external of your offer is an extension of your offer. So if your offer isn't built out at the depths and the levels that it needs to be built out at, then everything external of that, unfortunately, is not going to work. And these are all the variables, and these are the pitfalls that I've had to understand in order to be able to like go out there and to make things work. So again, I hope you found this valuable. If you've got any questions about anything I've shared here, then just reach out, send me a DM, let me know. I am open and I'm willing to answer any questions, jump on a call and help you through something. If you want to have a conversation about potentially partnering with me inside one of our coaching containers, again, just reach out. Let's have a conversation. If you're watching this on YouTube and you've liked this content and you feel as though this is going to be valuable for anybody else, share the love, and yeah, you'll be the first to be notified when another training or a behind the scene video comes out like this. So